This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the south today, winter's biting with hard frosts across the region, creating beautiful scenes and causing road accidents. A Wanaka duo has started up a new rafting company with a difference, and they're aiming for calmer waters. And unknown thieves have exposed a group of sea lion pups to potentially devastating harm by stealing a protective fence. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Many South Islanders had to scrape the ice off their cars in the coldest morning of the year yesterday. And this morning saw another frost, although not quite as severe.
Frost is persisting in shady spots across Otago, with this car having left the road at an intersection on Dunedin's London Street after 9 a.m. this morning. Today's ice came after yesterday's frost, which was the coldest morning of the year, and the coldest spot in Otago and Southland was Wedderburn at minus 7.8 degrees, followed closely by Dunedin Airport at minus 6.5 degrees. This morning saw the south being hit again by freezing temperatures, with Dunedin Airport at minus 6 degrees. Some roads are still covered in slippery ice, and drivers are urged to take care in shaded areas. Meteorologists say the lack of weather fronts moving through the south, combined with clear skies and the longest night of the year, has caused temperatures to plummet. Another clear night is forecast for tonight, with a frosty morning likely tomorrow. However, cloud is forecast for later this week, which may keep frosts away after tomorrow morning. In Dunedin, the south today.
Operations at Speight's Brewery in Dunedin were affected last week following a cyber attack on its parent company Lion. It was the second cyber attack on Lion, with computer hackers seizing control of data or systems to demand a ransom that could run into millions of dollars. A Lion spokeswoman says that Speight's Brewery was only partially operational last week. Lion and its cyber team are continuing to investigate the attack, which caused a partial IT outage. The Speight's Brewery is now back to being fully operational, brewing and kegging beer. The first cyber attack was 2 weeks ago and halted brewing at the factory entirely, affecting supply and distribution. A Wanaka duo have started up a new rafting company with a difference. Instead of battling white water, the company says their clients are unlikely to get wet as they explore the South Island's more sedate rivers on 1 to 3 day rafting trips.
Hawea neighbours Paul Nicholson and Bob McLaughlin have put together a new rafting operation in response to the absence of overseas tourists.
But now it's really to try and take advantage of the domestic market and get Kiwis out there. So there's day trips like this, which is wonderful, but also we've got multi-day wilderness expeditions where we take people into the wilderness with a raft and a tent and a cooker and sleeping bags, and we explore our own backyard, which many of us don't really know exists or perhaps take for granted.
Seen here on the Hawea River, they operate under the name Fresh Adventures, and they agree that starting up a new tourism venture right now is a brave thing to do.
In the situation that we're in now, we don't know the future. No one knows the future, so you have to take a bit of a gamble with it's a calculated gamble, hoping that, it'll roll on into the future if we do open up the borders and whatnot too, hopefully.
Nicholson says their trips are not about battling white water. Their vision is to explore lesser-known rivers such as Fiordland's Hollyford, the Landsborough near Haast, and Canterbury's Ahuriri Valley.
So this Hawea it's on our doorstep. It's grade 2. The Clutha is class 1 or grade 1. The east and west Matuki are 2 plus. So the rivers that have been overlooked, I think, and because people have sort of flocked towards these bigger thrills and spills type experiences, where we actually both believe that the future is more about, as I said before, about enjoying the environment and experiencing our rivers in a way that you couldn't otherwise do. So grade 2 is perfect. People don't need to wear wetsuits. You can do it in winter, you can do it in the evening.
Fresh Adventures are hoping their family-orientated tours will continue to be promoted by word of mouth and social media. In Hawea, the South Today.
New Zealand First List MP Mark Patterson has announced he'll stand in the Taieri electorate at September's general election. The Lawrence-based farmer stood in Clutha, Southland in 2017, the first time his party had offered a candidate in the electorate since 2005. Boundary changes mean he now lives in the Taieri electorate, so Patterson says he's decided to stand again. Labour's Ingrid Leary and National's Liam Kernahan will also contest the seat with other candidates. Unknown thieves have exposed a group of sea lion pups to potentially devastating harm by stealing a protective fence. The barrier had been erected to stop pups from venturing on the road around Hooper's Inlet.
This tranquil pool is one of several along the Otago Peninsula being used as a sort of creche for young sea lion pups. About 11 pups frequent this pool at Hooper's Inlet, which has been fenced off from the road to discourage curious young sea lions from climbing up on the road with the risk of being hit by passing cars. Earlier this year, a sea lion and her pup were killed by a vehicle in similar circumstances on a road near Kaka Point. But to the frustration of conservationists, a 60-metre-long section of high-visibility fencing and waratahs were stolen from here last week. So on Friday, Fulton Hogan replaced the fence with a heavier water-filled plastic fence to protect the pups. New Zealand Sea Lion Trust chairwoman Jordana White says it would be devastating if young sea lions or their mothers were harmed on Otago Peninsula. She suggests some people do not realise how fragile the breeding population of New Zealand sea lions is. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, bus patronage in Dunedin is set to recover, and a professional game of fetch draws dog owners from across the country to Middlemarch.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz. Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Do you know Youth Grow in Northeast Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in Northeast Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Welcome back. The Otago Regional Council is asking residents what they want their province to look like in 10 years' time. Pre-consultation on the council's 10-year plan sets out what the Regional Council intends to do over the next decade. The long-term plan is reviewed every 3 years. While pre-consultation is not a requirement, the ORC says it plans to focus on the right outcomes. People can have their say at www.orc.govt.nz. Bus patronage in Dunedin is recovering and some users have returned for the first time in years. Despite a huge drop in users during COVID-19 lockdown, the move from level 2 to 1 has resulted in a surge in passengers, with the number of users more than doubling. The Otago Regional Council is hoping the number of bus patrons will continue to remain high. It says people have been enticed back by the current fare-free travel scheme, with many using the buses for the first time in years. It's hoped the new passengers will stick around for the upcoming tag-on, tag-off B-card system. The council is also looking at introducing a $2 flat fare, with almost 1,000 people having submitted their opinion. A professional game of fetch drew dog owners from across the country to the Middlemarch area last week. More than 24 specially bred spaniels and their owners travelled from across the country to be judged on their skills as gun dogs.
About 25 dogs and their owners travelled from as far afield as Auckland to compete at the annual Central Otago Gun Dog Championships in Middlemarch last week. Both Springer and Cocker Spaniels were judged on their ability to locate and retrieve shot rabbits.
Well, we're judging the game finding ability of the dog, so its natural ability to find rabbits. Some dogs have better noses than others. We're judging the ability for the dog to work with the handler, so to stay within range, to cover the ground thoroughly so that there's no missed game.
South Island Working Spaniel Club President Howard Halliday says the judges in professional trials can be very demanding on how they expect a dog to behave.
If the dog breaks to the rabbit going, chasing, that's an elimination fault. If it makes a noise like a yip or a bark, it's eliminated. It's a very harsh sport and you can be gone. I've been put out of a trial in 30 seconds.
He says it can easily take up to 2 years to train dogs to retrieve, with quite a few sessions over that time.
And we're all a pretty passionate bunch about what we do. I'm training my dogs 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm up here at least once a week working them on the real thing.
The specially bred dogs are worth about $5,000 each. In Middlemarch, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, Wanaka residents receive a hands-on demonstration in the fine art of fitting chains, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Shall I make some scones?
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Bowel cancer is the second highest cause of cancer death in New Zealand.
And New Zealand's got a higher rate of bowel cancer than many other Western countries.
Because it's one of those areas of the body that we don't talk about often enough.
It is one of those silent killers almost, that if it strikes and if you develop symptoms, sometimes it's too late.
So it's a major issue.
Welcome back. With winter well and truly in full swing in the south, road conditions are treacherous in places. Some roads get closed due to snow and ice, but some are only open to vehicles with snow chains fitted. A handful of Wanaka residents received a hands-on demonstration in the finer art of fitting chains.
Residents of the winter wonderland that is Wanaka were given a free roadside workshop in the finer art of applying chains. The course is run by Downers New Zealand on behalf of the Queenstown Lakes District Council, with Dave Green showing drivers how it's done. Wanaka local John Warner says the tutor guided them throughout the process well.
Dave's very patient. I need to practice quite a bit.
Fellow Wanaka man Tom Dixon is pretty circumspect about carrying chains in winter.
No point in having the chains if you can't fit them.
Dixon says living in an area where chains are necessary makes it important to know how to fit them correctly.
Well, most people do lip service to the requirement, and some would say, well, if it's that bad, don't go out. But if you take recent examples of closure of roads like Arthur's Pass or whatever, it's not wise to be in that area without chains.
The Queenstown Lakes District Council recommends those in the area sign up for road condition reports, which are sent out every morning during winter. In Wanaka, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Winter is biting with hard frosts across the region, creating beautiful scenes and causing road accidents across the south. A Wanaka duo has started up a new rafting company with a difference and are aiming for calmer waters as they try to avoid the rough stuff. And unknown thieves have exposed a group of sea lion pups to potentially devastating harm by stealing a protective fence. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening. We're continuing the winter theme. Excitement's building up through Central Otago and around the region as we prepare for some of the ski fields to open later this week. Remarkables, Treble Cone, Cadrona, all opening Friday, Saturday. Reports that there is plenty of snow about, and the school holidays, of course, just a week away. So there's fingers crossed that they're going to get some numbers there pretty quickly. Clearly relying pretty heavily on the domestic market this year with no air travel at the moment.
There'll be a lot of excited people though.
Yeah, they will, and it'll be great to see some people heading into Wanaka, Queenstown, spending some tourism dollars as well. So a nice little bonus for them in the winter. We're going to talk public toilets as well. An old public toilet in Dunedin down on the corner of Manor Place and Princess Street could soon be granted National Heritage Protection. It's an old, unassuming brick building down there, but apparently it's believed to be the oldest freestanding toilet in the country of this late Victorian style.
Right.
Who would have thought there was such a thing? It was earmarked for demolition in 1976, but the DCC held off on that, and now they've asked Heritage New Zealand to have a look at it and see if we can get some protection around it. So nice for that. Our fresh food page as well, looking at some winter recipes, pumpkin and leek soup, potato pie, and my favourite, the chocolate croissant pudding as well. And plenty of sport tomorrow. Highlanders assistant coach Mark Hammett announcing today that he's going to be leaving the team at the end of the season. Wants to stay in coaching and no decisions where he's going to go yet, but said it's time to move on. He's been a coach a long time now. He coached the Hurricanes at one stage, was in Wales with the Cardiff Blues, so no doubt he'll have something lined up down the track. And also on the rugby front, 25 years tomorrow since the All Blacks lost that heartbreaking World Cup final to South Africa. Dropped goal in extra time, and we lost that. All the All Blacks were sick, or a large portion of them were sick. Claims they were food poisoned, etc., etc. We talked to Laurie Mains, this was the Dunedin man who coached the team. It's clear he's still not over it yet as well. He still holds a bit of a grudge, but well worth a read as well. 25 years seems like yesterday.
Right. Well, thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the city view, a seagull about to touch down on a car hunting for a chip. Looking at the situation, fine and frosty inland for the rest of the week, but stubborn cloud on the Otago coast hangs around until the weekend. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at mostly blue skies and 16 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect a cloudy day and 16 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, it will be a little cloudy for most places. Kaikoura, Christchurch and Ashburton all head for 11 degrees. Christchurch could be covered in fog for most of the day, while Ashburton may have some clouds. To the southern towns, plan for light winds with some clouds. The Catlins and Balclutha should reach 9 degrees, Lumsden 10, and Gore is set to be the warmest, heading for 11 degrees. Heading to Central, you can expect light winds and cloudy skies, and it will be cold, particularly in Wanaka and Queenstown, where the high is set to be just 4 degrees, and Alexandra with 3. Once again, Te Anau is the place to be, aiming for a high of 10 degrees. To the northern towns, on the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect light easterlies and cloudy skies with 9-degree highs. Inland, those in Twizel and Omarama can plan for light winds, some clouds and a high of 5 degrees. In Dunedin, fine tonight with frost inland with an overnight low of 2. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 9 and a low of 5. Mostly cloudy and cold on Thursday with northeast winds, a high of 9 degrees and a low of 5. And in Invercargill, frosty tonight with an overnight low of -2. Mostly sunny tomorrow with scattered high cloud and light northerly winds. The high is due to be 11 and the low -1. Expect scattered cloud on Thursday with light winds and a high of 11 and a low of -1. That's all for our news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.